Coming up, a trial date is set for the man accused in the deadly stabbing of a Fargo teenager. Shark Tank star Kevin O'Leary visits North Dakota looking to invest billions of dollars in a crypto operation. And another step forward for those looking to legalize recreational marijuana use in North Dakota. Hello and welcome to the Nightly Review. I'm Tom Tucker. We begin with a look at tonight's headlines, then a closer look with comments tonight from Minnesota Secretary of State candidate Kim Crockett, who says the state's election laws need to be changed in order to improve election integrity. And in tonight's one-on-one conversation, I speak with one of two men who claim the title chairman of the Clay County Republican Party. But first tonight, the North Dakota Bureau of Criminal Investigation is working to determine the details of a deadly deputy-involved shooting inside a school yesterday in Hettinger County. Friends identify the man who died as 34-year-old Mott resident Jeff Glover. We're told Glover was shot by the deputy after he got into a fight with his ex-wife's boyfriend while inside the school. No other injuries are reported in the shooting. A trial date is set for the man accused in the brutal stabbing of a Fargo teenager. Arthur Colley is charged with murder, robbery, and aggravated assault, and last June's death of 14-year-old Jupiter Paulson. It happened near Park City in Fargo. Colley originally entered Alford pleas in October, meaning he agreed there was enough evidence to convict him, but later changed his mind. Colley's trial is set to begin on September 7th. Fargo firefighters battled a garage fire late last night. The fire at 1002 5th Street North was reported around 11:45. Crews found the garage engulfed in flames when they arrived on scene and quickly put it out. No one was hurt and no word yet on a cause. Authorities have identified the man whose body was found floating in a slough in rural Holly Wednesday. That happened in the 1800 block of 225th Street North. The man who died is 27-year-old Tyler McCloskey of Detroit Lakes. Valley Water Rescue recovered the vehicle. The sheriff says it's unknown what time the crash happened or if weather was a factor. An East Grand Forks woman is charged with third-degree murder in connection with blue M30 pills that were laced with fentanyl. Police say Stephanie Hageman is also facing two other felony charges as part of the investigation that dates back to September. A police report says a woman died from a fentanyl overdose January 14th using pills Hageman has admitted to selling. On a lighter note, Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank fame was in Bismarck Thursday to meet with North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. O'Leary is looking to invest an estimated $2 to $3 billion for an investment in a crypto mining operation in North Dakota. O'Leary is looking at the state because North Dakota has an abundance of hydroelectric power. Bringing attention to South Fargo is one of the things Fargo Mayor Dr. Tim Mahoney says he wants to focus on if re-elected for another four-year term.
I think you'll see the Kmart site will come back with some remarkable growth and some remarkable shops and housing in that spot. And it'll be a kind of a bright star that's going down to South University. I think we'll continue to see things happen in that South University corridor.
Mahoney says he hopes to focus on long-term sustainability in the city. He also says the need for housing is through the roof. The city currently has about 500 homes listed for sale. This time last year, the total was about 1,500 homes for sale. North Dakota farmers are facing a delayed planting season. Producers say they have to wait for the weather to clear before beginning to plant. Farmers say they're happy for the recent moisture, but say much of the recent snowfall blew into trees and did not evenly wet their fields. A North Dakota petition advocating for recreational marijuana use for people 21 and older is ready to be circulated. The petition received official approval from the state yesterday. The sponsoring committee has 1 year to collect and submit a minimum of just over 15,500 valid signatures to get their measure on the November ballot. Well, if you are a fan of the Brady Bunch, listen up. The actor who played Greg Brady is coming to Fargo. Barry Williams will appear tomorrow at the Fargo Pop Expo. We're told Williams will meet with fans, sign autographs, and pose for pictures. Others making appearances include Motor Trend and HGTV host Christy Lee, and Butch Patrick and the Munster coach from the Munsters. In a closer look tonight, a Republican candidate for Secretary of State in Minnesota is focusing on election integrity. Kim Crockett has previously said she believes Minnesota is among the worst states in the country when it comes to election integrity. She compares the state to California.
One of the things I'd love to do, Secretary of State, is have random audits of counties, precinct level, where the officials do not know who's going to be audited. It's random. And I also don't think that government should be auditing itself. And so I think we'd look into bringing in an outside auditor and rotate those as well, because vendors can become very friendly with government.
Crockett previously made headlines in 2019 after making controversial comments about Somali refugees in St. Cloud. She was suspended without pay from her position at the Center for the American Experiment, and she later apologized. As part of her campaign now, she's calling for changes to state election laws.
Our state law right now is deaf to that kind of accountability and transparency. And one of the things we need to do is rethink our election laws, both as they're set up for us as voters, but also the election process itself, so that we can restore confidence, everyone's confidence.
Crockett is running against Kelly Johnner Bryn in the primary for the Republican nomination for Secretary of State. The incumbent is Democrat Steve Simon. Well, if you think the Nightly Review is a great way to stay on top of the news in the FM Metro and beyond, please be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell below. That way you won't miss the next episode. Well, a lot of things happening weather-wise this weekend across the region. Meteorologist Justin Storm is in the Skywatch Weather Center, tracking all of it.
Thanks, Tom. We'll remain mostly cloudy with some patchy fog throughout this evening, and we'll see some scattered showers and thunderstorms developing, which will continue through tonight, where one or two storms could be strong to severe. Wind will be out of the east-southeast, turning to the southeast around 15 to 30 and gusting up to 40 miles per hour, with temperatures rising into the 50s overnight. For your Saturday, scattered showers and storms through the morning, then a brief break in the afternoon. We'll see temperatures in the upper 60s in the FM Metro and lower to mid-70s over by Lakes Country. Wind will be gusting up to 50 from the southeast, and we'll see more storms developing by the later afternoon into the evening. One or two of those storms could be strong to severe, with the possibility of an isolated tornado in eastern North Dakota and over into Lakes Country, Minnesota.
It could happen to you or someone you love. One moment, one diagnosis can change everything. Thankfully, there's a program that helps caring people uplift families through a crisis. Lend a Hand Up, raising financial help and hope through community benefits and online campaigns. A program that boosts generosity so gifts go further. Lend a Hand Up helps you help your neighbors. Learn more and give at lendahandup.org.
Welcome back to the Nightly Review. In tonight's one-on-one conversation, we hear from one of two men who claim the title chairman of the Republican Party in Clay County. Edwin Hahn says he's the party chair, even though in late March, the state Republican Party in Minnesota announced Hahn was voted out of the position by the local executive board. I first asked Hahn to explain his version of events that happened in late March.
The issue became that there was an infiltrator that got into our organization that was really someone who is not for the people, but really an extension of a political machine, the party operative, we might call it, who built an alliance within our executive committee and then convinced them to hold an illegitimate meeting in a locked closet in the Moorhead Public Library, which they, in the matter of 3 minutes, decided and voted that I was not chair and ended the meeting. There's a 3-minute long meeting. They did not follow the Constitution. They did not follow our party rules and our bylaws, and it basically was an illegitimate meeting. However, because it was colluded with the various highest levels of the executive members of the Minnesota GOP, then there was affirmation that this was legitimate. So now we're in this position where, there's one person that claims to be a chair, and then we have, are myself, the legitimate chair, and this battle that wages on, not really about the chairmanship, but about the corruption and the political machine, which we call the Republican Party of Minnesota leadership, which is only a handful. It's only 2 or 3 people who are making these decisions for the entire state. And I just want to touch on this. We can go a little deeper, but this is not exclusive to Clay County. This is happening all across the state of Minnesota. About 18 different counties have now been impacted by this kind of overreach.
Now, the party at the state level and Rod Johnson, the man they say is the county party chair, accuse you of erratic behavior and conduct unbecoming. And they say those are the reasons why you were voted out of leadership. What is your response to those accusations?
Well, they're trying to paint a picture and create a narrative for their benefit. I think that they've been able to leverage some of the leftist radical press that has come out against us regarding our stand for the Constitution, our stand for human rights, which we did this last summer and fall, coming against the unconstitutional mask mandates that were put down through the government, through the school system, and also the unconstitutional vaccine mandates, which were put down through the governance and through corporate, and which we now can see that finally justice is finally being being heard, that the courts have now overturned any mask mandates regarding federal public transportation, air travel, any of that nature. And of course, the vaccine mandates have been put on a hiatus or hold as well through most every federal and private organization, because it's deemed to be unconstitutional. But the point is that they're trying to paint a picture that I'm some kind of radical, off the handle, crazy person. That's just simply not true.
How many members of the county party now would you say are backing you, and what is your plan for moving forward? And will we see more legal skirmishes over control of the party at the county level?
So we have to remember that the Republicans of Clay County membership is actually anyone who subscribes to the values of the Republican Party and they live in Clay County. So it's not as if you have to hold some membership card, you have to come and apply and pay a dues, anything of that nature. You simply have to be a conservative person who, again, subscribes to the values of the Republican Party, like the right to life, limited government, financial and fiscal responsibility, things of this nature. And so the vast majority of Republicans within Clay County are backing me. We have a very small group. We call it a coffee clutch, basically, that is the Establishment Social Club, which is made up of probably, what do they have? About 7 members, and then a handful of backers behind them who actually have instigated this whatever we want to call it, this kind of a fake coup d'etat. And so to answer your question, Tom, yes, we have the vast majority of folks behind us. And you can see that as we were able to hold the convention, the county convention, on March 26th.
And I'd like to thank Edwin Hahn for joining me for tonight's one-on-one conversation. Hahn says he'll continue to push for having Republican delegates selected in the district this year to serve as official representatives at the upcoming conventions at the district and state levels. The state Republican Party has announced delegates selected in 2020 will act as representatives. Well, that will do it for this Friday night, April 22nd, 2022. I'm Tom Tucker. Thanks for watching the Nightly Review, and have a great weekend.